Okay, before I get started, music just started playing in the background because they're playing music in the street. So if you hear music in the background, I am so sorry. I cannot filter that out. But I gotta say this. Look at these people. Look at them. I look at these people here, and some of them are still on the roster. I look at them, and I think when this poster was made, this is a pretty old poster, things were different. They knew how to book. They knew how to bring someone in that was new. They knew how to book this person, and they knew how to make a payoff leading into a pay-per-view. And then after they do the payoff in the pay-per-view, which is pretty much for Payback, going forward, they had a good idea what they wanted to do. Even if it wasn't great, at least they had something. I look at this show, and I'm sure several people are going to like this pay-per-view. Not everybody, but some. Nothing. My title is now what? You know why? Because it makes no sense. There is no payoff. What now for most of what's going on? Do you actually believe you know what's going to happen? No. Not because they're trying to be unpredictable. It's because Vince McMahon, who just turned 75 in the last couple of days, has no clue what he wants. He doesn't know what the hell he wants. I don't care if he's still a genius. He's a genius that has no clue what he wants. This show sucked. I'm being honest here. In most cases, it was boring. Things just felt missing. And it doesn't really feel like it means something. Let's start with the show. Now, I'm not talking about the kickoff show. I did check to see who was there, at least at the end, and it was the Iconics versus the Riot Squad. Now, I don't know who won. My guess is probably the Riot Squad lost. I doubt they won because they did win with Bianca Belair, and they're going to probably do 50-50 booking. And my guess is the Iconics won back because they want to keep this feud going between the two. Kind of sounds familiar. Oh, yeah, it was. Sasha and Bayley versus the Riot Squad. If I'm wrong, fine, but that's how it feels. Here's something that seems to be good, but I don't know where it's going. The Hurt Business of Bobby Lashley versus Apollo Crews for the U.S. title. The match was it felt flat to me. Now, it could be because I haven't watched the show in a while. And that could be for almost everything here. But that match was flat. It just felt flat. It didn't feel like it should. You got Bobby Lashley, who's a big physical guy, versus Apollo Crews, who is more of an aerialist, even though he is strong and physical. And it felt grounded, and it felt slow. That's not something you want in the opening of the show. And I almost forgot. When you hear the music for the show, it's almost all kind of generic rap. Now, that's just me. I don't listen to rap much anymore. But the theme music and the music throughout the show didn't help this match. It didn't help any of the other matches. It just felt flat. In the end, I wasn't surprised Apollo dropped it. And then he attacked Bobby Lashley afterward. So he's saying he's getting his title back. Now, the only way this is going to mean something to me personally, because when you look at the Hurt Business, is actually good. Seeing that MVP is the mouthpiece for both Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, who needs to be doing something. I don't want to see him with the 24/7 title. I'd rather see these guys win the tag titles, have the U.S. title on Lashley's shoulder, let them hold the tag titles, let them destroy the Street Profits. That makes some sense. But as it stands, I do like the Hurt Business. But seeing something with Apollo Crews, I don't know. He's in my face. I just don't know. JBL. No, let me go through everything else first before I go to JBL, talking with Keith Lee. You got Sheamus versus Biggie. Now, you guys tell me below. I think I got the picture of Sheamus in his promo before he hit the ring. he looks like... Tell me he doesn't look like Rocky Balboa. Tell me he doesn't look like Rocky Balboa. Why? Why? Anyway, was the match good? It was okay. But here's the problem with me personally. They showed a small segment of Talking Smack with Biggie on it. And him talking about how he, Woods, and Kofi got over. Here's the problem with me, guys. This is not about Biggie being with Woods and Xavier. This is about him being by himself. And it doesn't feel like he's by himself. He still feels like he's part of New Day. And if he's going to try and strike out on his own while both Xavier and Kofi are not there, he's got to change. As long as he stays in the same character of New Day, I don't care. He's boring. He only works with Xavier and Kofi by his side. If he's by himself with this thing, and I know he did do something with the Viking Raiders, I don't care. He's boring. He's boring. It doesn't work. He needs his partners to make it work. And by himself, he looks completely out of whack. Yes, he won the match. And it wasn't 100% bad. But still, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. It's just me, guys. Tell me below. I'm about to say Billy Corgan. I'm thinking about NWA instead of this match. And this is King Corbin versus Matt Riddle. Which I don't hate Baron Corbin. I never did. When he became Constable Corbin, I didn't like it. When he became King Corbin, I thought they could go somewhere special with him, and they didn't. And they destroyed Chad Gable in the process. Shorty G sucks. He just does. So when I look at this match, and I think about Matt Riddle, and they're saying that Matt Riddle is having the most incredible opportunity dealing with a Baron Corbin. Corbin. You see, I don't want to even think about this. That match went way longer than it should. Matt Riddle should have annihilated Baron Corbin. Yeah. I don't even want to think about it. It was a long-winded match that didn't need to be there. I'm not saying that Baron Corbin is a bad wrestler, but he shouldn't have been able to get away what he was doing with Matt Riddle. It was dumb. That's just me, you guys. Tell me below. Now, the match that I was surprised about, but then I'm going, what now? Because, to be honest, it should have gone another way, but it didn't. Even though I am happy the way it went, it shouldn't have gone that way. And that is Keith Lee versus Randy Orton. Now, as I said earlier about JBL talking to, well, it was good to see JBL talking with Keith Lee, saying simply, here, take my card. I can get you an investment. I can get you really good money and good investment, but you're going to have to throw a million bones on. And he says, I don't got that money. He said, if you win this match, you're on your way. Now, that was good to see JBL get invested in Keith Lee. Maybe Keith Lee will now have a mouthpiece in a JBL. JBL can actually help him. Not saying Keith Lee can't do it by himself, but counting on what character they're going to throw Keith Lee on is to question. Because that is a question. Oh, they're going to make him heel, they're going to make him face, they're going to leave him as he is. Then we had the match. And what was that he was wearing around his waist? What was he looking like? I don't know what Dragon Ball Z character he was looking like. I mean, what was that? It's in my face if I got it. But the key of this situation, whether he looked silly or not, was the match was good and he got put over. It's in my face. Him standing up and Orton laying down. Orton put him over. Clean. And I'm going like, wait. Where are we standing with Randy Orton? He was supposed to be having a feud with Edge, but he's out because of injury. Now you got Drew McIntyre. Supposedly got his head kicked in so many times, he has a cracked skull. Fine. Now you put him up against Keith Lee, and now he loses. Clean. Now I know many people want to say, well, then they're going to continue their feud. It's the best thing to do. Really? I cannot see Keith Lee having a program with Randy Orton. Not because he couldn't do it, but because this is too weak to make it mean something. Randy Orton wants the title, which he can't get right now. Keith Lee is there, but he has no title. Randy Orton is there, he's got no title. And until they decide to let Drew McIntyre back on, where does this leave both of them? Filler. Now, they could pull it off with some good matches, but after what I just saw, Keith Lee basically dominating over Randy Orton, why would I want to see it? I'd rather see Keith Lee move on to somebody else. Hell, I wouldn't mind seeing Keith Lee go up against Lashley. Let's see the one with no limits go up against the Almighty. That might actually be interesting. But this is what we got. I don't know. What next? You guys tell me below what you think is going to happen between Randy Orton and Keith Lee. Okay. Sasha and Bayley versus, oh my gosh, what did I watch when it came to Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax? Why? And why was Nia Jax wearing a Tamina shirt? I think I got that shot. It's in my face. Why? Wouldn't she need to wear her own shirt? Why is she wearing Tamina's shirt? Now, mind you, understand, I've always stated Tamina's gotten the shaft. And she could have already gotten the title years ago. Not because she's good, because, hell, why not? Everyone and their mom's gotten the damn title. So I'm actually surprised Tamina's shirt was worn on Nia Jax's frame. But then you look at the match. And the only time the match was good was when Shayna Baszler, Sasha, and Bayley was in the ring. Nia looked out of place. She just did. She did. Now, at the end of the match, seeing that Shayna Baszler used Sasha's own arm to choke out Bayley to tap out was interesting. And the match itself, I'm not saying it was good, but at least it was better once those three women were interacting. Sasha, Bayley, and Shayna. Once Nia got in the ring, I lost interest because Nia just looked sloppy. She can't even sell her own injury of her knee. And then the most ridiculous thing, when the match was over and they won. I'm talking about, they're in my face. Nia Jax just looked stupid. Jumping around, happy as hell, getting a title. What is she, a heel? Or is she a little kid who's 5? Look, I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been watching the product for a while, and maybe I'm a little jaded, which wouldn't be a lie because of how they've been doing the product. But this just didn't feel like anything. Finally, Roman versus The Fiend, almost said Bray, and Braun. I'm not even going to go very far into this. Fiend and Braun started the match. Fiend and Braun nearly finished the match with, and I gotta say this 100%, they telegraphed. I don't know how I knew, but when I saw Braun go up on the top turnbuckle and was gonna try and jump down on Bray, I had this feeling that the ring was gonna collapse. I could feel it in my freaking bones, and there you go. Bob's your uncle, it did collapse. That was so telegraphed and felt so cliche. Every time when there's two big guys in the ring, one over 300 pounds, another one over 300 pounds, they always got to make the ring collapse, which is garbage. I would rather see these guys not collapse the ring. That's the truth. I would rather see them not collapse the ring every time with big guys, really big guys, go into the ring and then it doesn't collapse. I'd rather see that. So this was really telegraphed. Then, this is the interesting thing. Roman comes out because he didn't come out throughout the entire match. He signed a contract at the Titantron went down there, beat up a... I'm not even going to describe it. He just won the match. And now he is Universal Champion. That's in my face. What now? They're right there now. What now? What was this show? What now? They have no idea what they're doing. They don't. Like I said in the beginning of this review, maybe it's because I am jaded. Maybe it's because I haven't watched the product in a while. But if I look at what's on the screen at face value, the WWE has no clue what they're doing. I said this when Roman came back. He shouldn't have. He shouldn't have came back now. He should have came back at Survivor Series at a signature pay-per-view to mean something. No. He comes back at SummerSlam. And instead of building him back up over the next month and a half, maybe 2 months, to go into Survivor Series and then try to get the title back, he gets it now. Which means what? Will this actually help ratings? Temporarily, it might. Because that's all that Vince is caring about, temporarily boosting the ratings. But as a long-term thing, it means nothing. This show was trash. Because it doesn't make anything better for the WWE. This is all shock value in hopes of getting people to look at the product. They actually think this is going to make the product more better in the long run. But in the end, with no booking, no great character development, nothing means anything. But this is just me. You guys tell me below. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.